COVID-19 pandemic chronology video for today, 14 February 2023, Valentine's Day. As of filming this in the city of Shoreline, Washington State, United States of America, Planet Earth, the original COVID-19 pandemic updates for my life. So I'm working on pandemic pit crew, writing and publishing on Wikipedia, focusing on page curation and keeping up to date. So there's today's like the first day of championships that I'm writing about for swimming and diving, possibly diving. There's Delaney Schnell, who I might write about, but I'm getting off topic here. Well, that's actually entirely on topic. I have a list of people I'm writing about, and I have a tendency to forget somebody or something. The ongoing, I make a list of names to write about and contribute to on their Wikipedia pages, and then either I get everybody on the list and I'm like, I'm good to go, and then I forget about somebody as I'm writing, and then I'm like, it's like the end of the day and I'm like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that person. Or so that's one form of forgetting. The other one is I make a list and I completely forget to put somebody on the list. So this year I have taken a hybrid approach of there's people on my list that I'm like set up and ready to write about, and then there's other people on the list where I'm like, if appropriate, I'll contribute to the page. So note to self, Delaney Schnell is one that I could go back and add some stuff from 2022 to get it up to date if I have extra time. As crazy as that might seem, these things can be very time consuming. I call it live writing, where it's like I give myself to the end of the day to get everything that happened in that day on the page, which works for me in my time zone currently. I don't know if it would be different if I lived in a different time zone, that approach, but it works for me. And so it's these conference championships, which are like regional colleges grouped regionally in the United States of America, and then they compete, and then the best of the best go on to the NCAA or national championships for colleges in the United States of America, and then they're grouped by like Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, that kind of thing. And so that starts today. That is my general upkeep writing. It's also kind of page curation. Like if I missed something big, I did a sweep or going through the pages and making sure for what I could find, times were updated, like personal best times were updated, potentially relevant wins I put on the page. A couple people I'm doing like a flying under the radar approach because they could use that. So like David Curtis, an American swimmer, and Andrei Minikov, a Russian swimmer, they don't have that, even though they might have wins. And I'm like, considering traffic in my experience to these individual pages and word of mouth, maybe we'll take the flying under the radar approach into championship seasons this year. So that's what I'm doing for those ones. So yeah, and then I also, yesterday I wrote out what I'm gonna publish on the Roos Van Otter DHK page, like literally each of the edits in the edit summary, the Roos Van Otter DHK talk page, and then my user talk page, and addressing this person who's been repeatedly vandalizing. And so I've actually written out everything. And yesterday I started that, thought I finished it, realized right before I went to bed, and then this morning, oh yeah, I forgot a couple of edit summaries. So went back and worked on that, wordsmithed some stuff, trying to make it as neutral and like non-triggering as possible. So that I've been doing kind of the writing is offline. I haven't written and published it yet. And then I saved the source code for each of those pages because this person has a habit of vandalizing these articles. Well, this article specifically, Roos Van Otter DHK, by just entirely removing information. So it's like, all right, save the source code. So if they go through and just like blank everything, which is entirely in their character, I have that stored, saved already, offline. So I did that. And so that's like page curation, but not necessarily page curation that's like seen, as in like published on Wikipedia in my edit history. So there's already been work done today, just it's not as apparent, so to speak. And then I have general upkeep writing, so live writing, general upkeep / live writing, focusing on page curation and keeping up to date type live writing. If I'm trying to classify this. Okay, so that's first update. Second update. Today's day 9 of 14 of the Tanis Diet with PMS modifications. It's going well. It feels like I'm not going to lose any more weight, but I am going to. It's like that. The first week on a diet, there's a bunch of weight loss because I haven't been eating as little, so lose more weight. And then the second week is kind of like a slower weight loss. And so I've like hit that. I'm like, just finish. I'd say that's part of why I like doing having a set number of days, is because I'm, instead of getting discouraged and breaking diet, I'm like, it's day 9. I still have day 10, day 11, day 12, day 13, day 14, and the rest of day 9. Right? So it's a reality check of I'm barely over halfway. Just count, make it through day 14. So I've hit that kind of mental state or physical state, I guess I can relate to. But not discouraged yet. I have not done my exercise yet. I'm filming these, seeing how long they are. I usually do, these days, rowing and strength training in the morning. So after this, potentially publishing some sort of shuffling of the day of trying to get everything in. So I have not done my exercise. I need to do both sessions. I'm probably not going to do an update this evening or like an afternoon update. I did say I would do a savory eats yesterday with my leftover round table pizza, if it's still there. So if it's still there, you'll get savory eats, but you'll find out tomorrow if I was successful or not on day 9 of this second attempting of a 14-day pandemic weight regulation plan on the Tanis Diet with PMS modifications. So happy Valentine's Day, happy Tuesday.